say was in a different module, so that we could do things like what we have done. We had our backend in Ruby, and we realized that it was going pretty slow. So we started to try things like Haskell or Scala or Go for small parts of the project. And we realized, or we saw that in some ways that was up to 10x faster. That was really nice. So that's one side. 10 engineers for an API, working really hard, like top-notch developers there. A lot of work, a lot of investment in terms of money to serve 8 million users. On the other side, this is the project I'm working on right now. I started doing this on my free time, improving it, and that's true for everybody, for every company. Regardless if you release version 1.0, you will go for 2, you will go for 3 at some point in the future. So it's better to call it beta. And something really important that it's difficult to see. Normally, companies take the internal feedback to make new features. They sit together, they brainstorm, they say, okay, we'll do that. I think this is a nice idea. But in the end, you just have in that room as many brains as ideally the company, as big the company is. That's really bad, because that company is serving for hundreds of millions of users who experience the product, who play with it every day, who are like real fans of it. And those are the ones who know the problems of it. As Henry Ford said, as you know, that if he was asked what should he build back then when there were horses, and the people would have responded they wanted faster horses, that's true, and you have to define your product. But when it's already out there, when you have built the car, then you have to put it in the hands of the drivers, and then they will know better what do they need. So that's why I'm putting here internal and external feedback. You combine both, you go again into development, and you just keep on releasing all the way. And why is that good? Because you will, if you're starting with a feature or a product, you just thought about, you just had an idea, I wanted to build it, you will identify quickly if there are some kind of technical barriers that you just find when you go in, some kind of issues with the market, you will just find them as soon as you get into the market. So it doesn't make sense to spend 3 months, 8 months, 2 years building something, which is something usual, and then have to throw it all away, right? You will get feedback if you make test groups quickly, like you release something quick, then you gather a group of users in something like an entry market, then you make quizzes to them, you speak to them, you engage with them, and then you will learn from that. And last thing, you will get visibility. Why will you get that? Because from the first day you start building your thing, you will already do marketing. Some products, some projects, companies, they first release everything and then they do marketing. Then they will need this kind of gap for the people to get awareness of it, to receive in the Twitters accounts, in the Facebook accounts. If you stack from day 0 doing marketing, faking it doesn't matter. Just make a website saying, hey, I will do that even if there's nothing behind. Just do whatever to make it feel that it's ready, then you will gain that time. And then by the time you release, then you will have already like a critical mass that you can play with. The first time I was building something myself, the first steps were opening, creating, setting up an Apache server, PHP MyAdmin, MySQL database, doing all your backend in PHP from scratch, setting everything from the beginning. That was like 3 or 4 months just to get started. I was a pain in the ass. Specifically in Treehouse, you have to pay that one, you have all this for free, but the quality is really good. And I did 2 months, and you know what happened is that as soon as I got familiar with the syntax, the challenges you fix or you solve in any other programming language are similar if you stay within the field. For instance, this was mobile. It turned out that it was really similar to Android in many ways, so it was really easy for me to pick up. We did a nice app which is out there and is really good quality. You have source control services like Git, which is for free for public accounts, as you know. You have Bitbucket, in which you can create private accounts for free, and it works just the same as Git behind. You can organize your code, your files, and your pictures in Drive and Dropbox, you know. Then you can just engage with the community. You can find friends in Facebook, go to events like this one, and find people to collaborate with you. And I'm speaking about working for free. We about your app because it has tons of stuff to do as any other editor. In our case, though, we got him somehow to watch our app and give an opinion. And even though it's pretty neutral, in some ways negative, it didn't have any impact at all. So don't even think about that. And to take that to the extreme, there was the first project I built when I was 19 was the most successful. And it was super ugly. It was super badly done from a development standpoint. There was no user experience. When I see it now, I say, oh my God, how could I do this? To do something here, right? It's not about speaking. I speak too much. As you will realize, I'm from Spain, and people from Spain speak too much. But we'll get to do something, I promise. So we will build something real quick. You will see that with something like 40, 50 lines of code, we will get our backend running and our app running. What we will do is we will create an app that will you will be able to add users and retrieve users. That's it. It's really simple, but we're speaking about, you will see in a second, not much. And we'll use Google Cloud Platform, specifically Google App Engine. And why is that? Because we will have, you know, that Google App Engine is a platform as a service. There are all the options. You don't have to choose that one. You have Parse, you have DigiCloud, you have DigitalOcean. Sorry, not DigiCloud. You have many options. And what are these for? These are services that solve the. You will have all that done for you, like the case of a Snapchat. I know that Google was having a hard time when Snapchat was kicking it, but I don't remember it going down ever. It just scaled to millions. And whatever the case is for you, your project or your app, I think it's really difficult to scale faster than Snapchat, so you should be fine. It's really simple. You have to deal with load balancers, with everything, sharding, everything that we saw before in the MongoDB talk. You have to deal with that because it's awesome, but it's a pain in the ass. You have to with me, especially when you're doing this kind of things. When you want to get to the market as quick as possible, and you don't want to deal with that. You just want to put it out there and then think about it. Really, all you care is if your idea, if your assumptions work in the market. Because normally they don't, and I'm speaking about 90%, 80% of our ideas, of our assumptions, because we think about them. In Cloud Platform, we are going through the internal network of Google, which means it's normally one of the fastest, but also if we need to communicate to another Google API like Translate or Google+, it won't get out to the internet. It will just go through the wires of Google and it will be faster than normal. So these are our app will be basically this backend, Python and Go, and we will be able to serve as many devices as we want because we will be speaking about cross-platform app. This structure is nothing really important right now. I just did it this way because that's the convenient way or the convention for those programming languages. Like MVC kind of pattern, but you can structure it the way you want, basically. And getting right into it, you will see that it's just 3 parts we have to take care of. The first one is a pretty simple part, only configuration. All you have to care about is application, which will be the ID that you will share in Google Cloud Platform for your project.